Hi, today I'm going to talk about what happens to Venus as she goes through all the astrological signs. My name is Michael Bartlett, Master Metaphysical Astrologer, and I offer metaphysical astrology and experiential coaching to those of you seeking profound transformation and empowerment. Please check out my website, coremichael.com, for more information. So, today we're going to be talking about how Venus changes her outfits, her attitude, and the tools she uses as she moves through the zodiac. You see all the various costumes she wears, the various accoutrements she has in her life and at her disposal. So let's go into this. The glyph for Venus is a circle on top of a cross. Very simple, very easy. It's a universal symbol of the feminine, as we know. Venus can stay in a sign for 18.75 days unless it retrogrades, in which case it can stay in a sign for as long as 5 months, which is a long period of time. It takes 225 days to go through all of the signs, except every 18 months when Venus goes retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights. And that's how you end up with a longer stay in one of the signs. She represents our need to relate, to value, to align with, and to appreciate. It's what allows us to appreciate art, love, and others, and to want and to long for in a way that is slightly different than the desire nature of Mars, which we're going to be talking about next time. And she definitely reveals how you value and align with the things, people, ideas, and relationships in your life. This middle image, it looks like a spirograph game. I don't know if any of you played with that when you were a child, but I did. I stick the little pen inside of a gear thing and you roll it around all the time. But this is, if you were to look at Venus doing its orbit from Earth, this is the beautiful dance. It makes a beautiful pentagram, a five-pointed star or five-petaled lotus. So when we talk about the zodiac, we're talking about this band of constellations that are circling around out in outer space beyond the sun. Here we are here at Earth. The sun is between us and the constellations. And so wherever you see the sun, or wherever you see any of these planets we're discussing in these talks, from the vantage of Earth, looking out into space, it's aligning into one of those constellations, therefore receiving the energies of those constellations and changing its attitude and clothing each time it does so, as we're going to be going through now. So, our first sign, of course, is the sign of Aries. And we see that Venus, who you would normally think is being very feminine and soft and available, is actually ready for war, ready to be protecting against other things that need defending, bringing forth courage, bringing forth a spontaneity and a quickness in understanding and perceiving things. This would be a person who'd be very good at art, very instinctually oriented art, or and appreciating that as well. This is someone who enjoy nature and beauty as well, being out in hikes and walking and enjoying oneself. Then Venus moves into the sign of Taurus, which she rules and which she quite loves. It's where she gets to enjoy fine quality luxury goods, where she gets to enjoy good quality food, good quality fabrics against her skin, maybe jewelry, eating, drinking great wine, sipping lovely coffee, and keeping track of what she values and what's important, what's all in these little safe deposit boxes, are all the little special resources and gifts she has that are available to her and to anyone she loves. Then Venus moves into Gemini, where she has to get a little bit busier and she's going to be forging relationships. She's going to be making connections. She's going to be interacting and being a little bit more on the move, being influenced by Mercury at this point because it's in Gemini. That Venus is going to want to communicate. Venus has a very special relationship with Mercury anyway. She's always very close to Mercury. And therefore, there's always this almost inherent loving communication that happens between the two of them, especially when they're conjunct one another, very close one another. So when Venus is in Gemini, she is valuing her siblings. She's valuing education and ideas and thoughts and communication. And then Venus moves into the lovely, calming, nurturing sign of Cancer. It's like your favorite aunt that comes and visits, and she takes care of the kids while mom's away, and she does all the things that make you feel good and make you feel happy. In her apron pocket, she's always got little treats and sweets that are available. That's the other thing with Venus. She loves sweetness in life. Not necessarily that it has to be sugar or honey or anything like that, but sweetness like love and tenderness and beauty and joy, these frequencies that are much higher. So when Venus is in the sign of Cancer, what's going to be really valuable to her is those connections with family, with children, nurturing situations, home, and valuing the home and making it very special and comfortable. Then Venus moves into the dynamic and fixed fire sign of Leo, where she becomes very regal, where she wants things in a very set and determined way. She knows how she wants to lay out her artwork. She knows how she wants to blend the colors and use the colors in that which she creates. She knows the type of people she wants to be drawn to. She knows the type of man or woman she is attracted to in a romantic situation and how to turn the flame on in a certain way. But also with this Venus in Leo, this can be a little bit more of a person who can also be have a little bit of a flair for the dramatic. This is one of the signs for acting, and so it's this very expressive sign. So this can be, a dramatic lover if someone has a Venus in Leo. Then Venus moves over into the sign of Virgo, where she really has to start taking care of things, start taking care of the details, making sure everything is neat and orderly and structured, and that she uses discrimination with the relationship she has, that anything that she values or she appreciates or that she wants to be in connection with, that she does a little bit of a checklist and sees, is this person really in alignment with me? Is this situation in alignment with me? What am I going to need to do and bring to the table to make this better? How can I improve this situation? Is this a partner who I see potential? For those of you who like to use that word a lot when you meet partners, this person has potential. That'd be a Venus and Virgo sort of a placement, is seeing that potential in someone, but maybe that potential isn't going to be realized in this lifetime. We don't know. But it's really important to listen to Venus in Virgo's counsel because she's going to be telling you the details that you need to pay attention to. Then Venus moves into her other favorite sign, which is the sign of Libra, where she wants to relate to others in a very meaningful way, where she really gets to connect with people. She has the opportunity to show the quality she has of and dressing properly and having a proper home and having proper ways of going about doing things. Venus in Libra does not like ugliness in any way, shape, or of course, is going to have problems with people who are arguing or even ugly people, ugly buildings, ugly situations, whatever is ugly. Venus in Libra is probably going to look at that and say that's really inappropriate or how vulgar in a sense, because it really actually affects him in such a visceral way. But you can see back here on the seventh house, this Libra's sign, this long inside outside hallway. We've a man and woman joining in some kind of an agreement, and then the one behind has a knife behind. So there's an element of having to take care of things and being sure about what it is. Venus and Libra is taking the time and space, the pause to decide what is right in relationship to everything in life. That's the true power of that position. Then Venus moves into the deeply intense. I know I use that word a lot when it comes to Scorpio, but it just really fits. Passionate, loving, existential, willing to throw oneself on the pyre for love is what I think of with Venus in Scorpio. If there's a bonfire going on and if the love isn't being reciprocated, then this Venus in Scorpio might just throw itself on the flames and the fire because it's just not worth living any longer. Venus in Scorpio would be another fairly dramatic sign, be very feeling and sensitive, and probably picking up on things that a partner's doing before the partner's even doing it, or catching partners in lies, because that's going to be that this Venus in Scorpio is going to really sense things going on behind the scenes. Then that Venus moves into the adventurous, exciting, traveling, Sagittarius. She's going to love and enjoy higher conversations, meaning about philosophy or spirituality, even things that have to do with life that are not of the physical plane, things that have to do with experiences and expansive ideas and faith and religion and going to university, valuing education, especially higher education, of course. I want to thank Christine Cianci, the amazing artist who hand painted all of the figures in Astro Theater in oil, scanned them all, got them all in the computer. We were able to make this great book, Astro Theater, a modern approach to the ancient art of astrology. It's a wonderful book. I highly recommend it. It's visual, just like the visual images I'm using in today's talk. These are throughout the book as well. Now, Venus moves into the sign of Capricorn, where she becomes Miss Betty Business. She wants to make sure that things are done properly. If she's going to be in relationship to another person, if she's going to be seeking things in life, it is going to usually have to do with something about social status or getting up higher in one's monetary accomplishments, meaning success. She's going to really value success, and she's going to want that in her partner. She's going to want that in her friendships, going to want to set up life so it looks successful. This is very important for Venus because she values in human design. One of the points in here is like the marrying concubine. So this is this aspect of working towards something and then hopefully getting a reward for the hard work at the end. Again, this is a Saturn ruled sign, and therefore the work that is put in is going to pay off. And being successful usually takes a lot of work, to be honest. Then Venus moves into the other Saturn ruled sign of Aquarius, where she begins to share the values of right human relationship. This is where she begins to share her ideas of, hey, what is it like? How can people in another country be treated any worse than I am? Or why are people of a different color or a different sex or a different religion being treated differently than I am? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's appropriate. What do I need to do to make things better? She's not going to appreciate injustice. She's going to really want to make sure that people are taken care of. She's going to value those relationships. Might be a little bit detached, might be neutral about certain things, but definitely paying attention to all that's going on and keeping track of it on a certain level. Then that Venus moves into the final sign of Pisces, where she takes another breath like she does in Libra, and she gets to be in a little more of a space of acceptance of oneness. This is going to be valuing those things which are of the non-physical, that are going to be more of a spiritual nature, sometimes a religious nature, but definitely things that are more dreamlike and creative. She might be valuing doing artwork all day or getting lost in artwork, maybe getting stoned in doing artwork or meditating all day long, or valuing going to retreats and sharing deep knowledge, insights, and understanding with other people. Slightly like Scorpio in a sense, but not as dramatic in this regard. So if you like what I'm offering here, please hit the like button. Please share with your friends. Please leave your comments, your questions. What is your experience with Venus? How does your Venus operate in your life? How do you go about valuing people and things and situations and experiences in your life? And how important is it for you? I look forward to hearing from you. Please check out my website, coremichael.com. And I want to thank you today for tuning in and listening to what I have to say. Have a great day. Take care.